Erica, good morning. Erica, your garage gym looks so amazing. Philip, hi. Philip, your bar muscle up was so great. Oh, heck yes, Erica. I didn't know if you were gonna do the dumbbell version or the barbell version because I just opened Sugar Water because I was thinking that we would have the barbell version either way. But I love that there's a dumbbell option. Philip, truly, I have never ever seen anyone's first bar muscle up look that easy, ever in the history of watching. I don't know if you've been doing all the prep work or, how you made it look so textbook. Do tell us. Oh, nice. Erica, you're going to do both today. Oh, my goodness. The dumbbell and the barbell. Just make sure you keep that back nice and warm, too. How long did the dumbbell version take you? Stephen, Eilish, Kim, good morning. Aaron, good morning. Willie, good morning. No prep work. Philip, that's wild. You are an anomaly then, my friend. It looked so good. We're like, okay, who uploaded the AI bar muscle up into Philip's programming? We call Philip AI for anyone that doesn't know our tribe talk. Philbot. So I'm excited to talk about this one today, guys. It's some interesting factors coming into play here, and I think this is one of those like super deceptive from a rep standpoint workouts. You look at it and you're like, oh, 1 to 10 back down. That doesn't seem that bad for 6 tries. Well, Philip, I'd like to see how those. I mean, you see a lot of chicken wings and things like that, and I think what people underestimate on a bar muscle up is it's a different feeling because as you've been conditioned to do pull-ups, your chest is so upright to the bar. But in a bar muscle up, really, really using that kip and throwing those hips up and then hinging over because you're pressing down on the bar. It's a sensation, it's a feeling people aren't used to doing. That's why it's fun doing it with a band, because at that point in time, usually you're used to doing pull-ups where your chest is right here, when instead to get the bar muscle up, your hips are going to be here and your back's going to be so far back, and then it's almost a press down to get over the bar. So it's almost like it's a little bit misleading. I made that mistake for many years when I was first learning my ring muscle ups. I'd pull those rings right here, but there's nowhere to go if you're pulling the bar here. So it's almost you're waiting a split second before you're pulling. Erica got 154 reps. So what round was that, Erica? And then 1347 for the whole thing. I love that you just finished it. Oh, thanks, little bear. Right, Stefan? I feel like if they look that good, he's going to be able to string them together pretty quickly. It's a little intimidating, like pressing down and away from a bar when you're that high. Sometimes it takes a little while to get used to. Nice, Aaron. I know, deadlifts and burpees. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow's, yes, Philip, send us more videos. That's a good trick too, Stefan, having a target, something to look at on the ground. Oh, Bear, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, sorry. I didn't see you there. I did, but I didn't know you were right there. Okay, so I'm going to mention the M30 variations and the open variations, and then Aaron, I'll answer your questions. I mean, I would recommend a belt. I'm going to wear a belt. I'm going to try this later, probably with Tasia. But definitely, it also just depends. Some people aren't as affected by deadlifts. You guys know deadlifts, they make me very sore. I have to really be aware of getting my glutes firing and everything activated before I do them, so I'm not just overusing my back or my hamstrings. Diana, good morning. Diana, are you excited about this? Wow, Stefan, that's impressive. Do you press down and away from the bar when you go down? Because that's a lot of it. Sometimes that can be shoulder mobility too. Kim, yeah, I'm definitely wearing a belt. Philip, 173, 3 into the 5s. Heck yes. My crew always crushing it. I'm so proud. Okay, so let me go through these the M30 listed workouts today and the open workout. So just so you guys know, I don't know if you can see that kind of. I have to put it at an angle to see it. But basically what it is, guys, is it's 1 up to 10 and then back down. So 1 rep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of. For the bodyweight version on M30, we have air squats and burpees, and we'll go over that. The minimal version, we have double dumbbell deadlifts, 50s for the men, 35s for the women, and dumbbell facing burpees. And the open written as prescribed is that same rep scheme with barbell deadlifts. I think it's 225 for the men and 155 for the women. And then the scaled is, I want to say, I'll just look. 155, 225. Yes. Well, okay. It doesn't say the scale there, but it's a lighter weight and then same burpee over barbell. Erica, I'm sure you can. You know, a lot of it is just the mental preparation for it. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is, again, you look at this rep scheme and you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't a lot of reps, but as we well know, it's 100 reps. And a lot of times we get caught up, I'm not saying anyone has an ego, but we get caught up in wanting to do bigger sets because we think that's what we should do and then go down from there. This is one of those workouts where I say experience is going to trump so many things, because me, regardless of how much deadlift weight I can do and how frequently I deadlift is still not one of my favorite movements. So I know it taxes me quicker when I do bigger sets. So I would not be afraid to be doing singles. I know you get a little bit of extra bounce. So if you can do 2s and 3s, that would be great. But that eccentric movement of a deadlift, of going back down. So if you're doing the barbell version, obviously if you're doing the dumbbell version, I don't encourage you to be dropping dumbbells. But if you are doing the barbell version, doing singles and dropping the bar, or doing a couple sets of 2 and 3, even doing the singles, what I would tell you guys to do for your goal, and this comes from a lot of experience, is this workout, since it's a 10-minute time cap, is going to be what rep scheme can you do or way to do your burpee to keep moving and minimize rest. So what that means to me is, if I know I can do singles all day or 2s and 3s and then take a breath and keep going, that's what I would do. I would not, when you get into that round of even 6, 7, 8, because I think that's when it's going to start getting really hard, I would not open with a bigger set. I would do a rep scheme where you know you can take a 3, 2, 1 and pick it back up. And then the same with the burpee. There's a lot of people talking about how can you make your burpee so much faster? And I'll show you the difference between a single leg jump up and a double leg jump up. How can you make your burpee faster? I really don't think that's where it's won or lost. I think, how in the world can you keep moving? So whatever burpee that is, whether that's a worm burpee, a step up burpee, a double hop burpee, I want you to think of a grief burpee. We've talked about those in M30 before. Whatever that looks like for you, that's what you should do to see how can you keep moving in this workout, because it's going to get challenging. Keith says round 9 got hard. Keith, what version did you do? Nice, Kim. I love that. She said planning to go unbroken until maybe 6, then fast singles until you get down to 5. How are you at deadlifting, Kim? How does it make you feel? Because I would encourage, again, I'm on the single train as well in terms of pulling the barbell up and dropping it from the top. But I think there is some value if you can sneak in a 2 every now and then, Kim, just because we know the initial pull of a deadlift is usually the most challenging one. So if you can sneak in a 2 and use that momentum, not a bounce, we're not bouncing it, but if you can sneak in a 2, I think there would be a lot of benefit there too, if it's feeling good. If it's not, just stick with singles, 100%. And that's really, really true, Stefan. He says he's going to pay slower on the deadlift to load hamstrings properly. Yes. And I mean, again, I'm in a wear belt too. And also, Stefan, the big thing about that, you guys hear me hammer home all the time about glute activation. this is the day for glute activation. If your glutes are not awake, you want to use that big muscle group. All the booty gains we've worked on those deadlifts. Great burpees for life, Eilish. Yes. Nice, Keith. That's awesome. So I really, really want you guys to make sure that booty is nice and awake. And I'll show you some of my favorite, which I know you guys pretty well know. But if you have a band, that's a game changer for activation of your glutes. You know, single leg box step ups are a big one too. Trying to, where are my parallettes? I could get a barbell out and set it up, but I have parallettes here somewhere. They're being used for the MIA. Let's just use a dumbbell for reference. Just a couple things on the burpees. Right, just definitely a little bounce here. Diana, what version are you going to do? Okay, Willie, that's fair. That's completely fine. Just be really smart about your sets because that eccentric load is going to get very challenging. Behind me on the bench. Oh my gosh. Kim, that's hilarious. Right under my nose. I was like, really? Oh, that's funny. Oh, let's slide a little bit more here. Okay. Show you a couple tricks for the burpee, and then I'll show you some glute activation. Nice, Diana. Yes. And again, like if that's saving your back on that eccentric movement's a big deal. Again, the first pull off the ground tends to be the more challenging part. So that's the only thing to consider with the singles. That's why I say maybe throw some twos in there if you can. But if not, just save the back and singles and think being explosive the whole time. Oh, Keith, I understand that. You have to protect your back. He said he had back surgery, so 225 would be out of his league right now. And that's wise. I mean, this is fun and an opportunity to push yourself, but no need to hurt yourself. Thanks, Kim. Right, Keith, for sure. Need anything in Publix, I can help there as well. Kim, I know those the salmon. What was it? The hickory wood. Oh my gosh, why can't I not think of the name? To cook planks. Okay, guys. So what we've been talking about on burpees. So interesting enough, a lot of people talk about the one leg step up. I find that to be challenging on your low back if you're always using the bamboo planks. That's it, Kim. I find that to be challenging on your low back. So learning early on, if you've never stepped up, how to switch legs, I think is great for balance for your low back. Because if you're always stepping up with the same one, especially for 100 reps, that's going to be taxing your back a little bit differently. So because I've always had some long running hamstring issues, you guys see me hop up with both feet on burpees, and that's really just to protect my hamstrings and my low back. But if you watch the tips and tricks with Rich, I love how he hops to the side and over. This is actually a little bit higher than that. But guys, so for your burpees, you've heard them say you can warm up and then you can step up and hop. Thanks, Bear. And hop over. Watch out, bud. Bear's like, no. The other idea, guys, when you're stepping up is to try to angle yourself for that hop. So I'm jumping up or stepping back, and you see me, that's how Rich does it, a hop to the side like this and over, so it's easy to get back down more quickly. So that's almost like a double swing. So that's probably how I'm going to do it. Here, hop to the side, spinning in the air, and then I can already get back down. But another thing it's actually good for your brain to work on this too is, so I'm down here, now switching legs to hop up, stepping up, and hopping over. I know that is a little more challenging to think about when you're not used to doing it. The big thing today is don't do anything that you haven't really been doing on your burpees. If you step up or you hop up every single time, I would keep just doing what you've been doing, because that's going to be faster, more efficient. You're not going to have to think about it. The other thing to think about, guys, is when I'm here, I'm going to just stay nice and low on my hop. I don't need to stand nice and tall. I know when you're tired, probably will stand tall. That's okay. Oh, Diana Little Bear says hello to you and Valentina. Oh, 100%, Stefan. 100 deadlifts when you're not conditioned to doing 100 deadlifts is super challenging. So, like I said, guys, I think the biggest takeaway today is this is a 10-minute AMRAP, and everyone wants to finish the workout, but you want to get as far as you can. So again, biggest takeaway is what movements or rep schemes can you do to stay moving? So like I said, if you can do 2s on the deadlifts, throw in some singles there and minimize that, just a 3, 2, 1, and right back to the bar, I think that would be ideal. And then Thomas, good morning. And for the burpees, it is whatever burpee you can keep moving on. A lot of people, like I said, are getting wrapped up in what's my fastest burpee. Valerie, good morning. We're glad that you dropped in to say hi. What's the fastest burpee? It's about what kind of burpee can you do to stay moving for that 10 minutes, not about necessarily changing your burpee. If you do see some of these burpees and they're exciting and you think that you might want to try them and start getting used to them, I think that's a great idea. But today, 100% do whatever burpee you know you can stay moving on. Not necessarily worrying about if you're, whoa, Little Bear found a greenfield one back there. Not necessarily which one is the fastest or keeps you from, like, whatever you are comfortable with and you can move with. Erica, what kind of burpees do you do? Valerie, we're so glad that you stopped by. Thomas, eat me for this workout. I certainly would hope so if you need to fuel up for this. And again, I'm going to show you some activation really quick, guys. And also, these fast 10-minute workouts, people have a tendency to be like, oh, I'm done. Let's cheer on my friends. Let's go home. Please promise me you're going to cool down. Similar to last week, the cool downs are so important. Right, Aaron? It's like, what? That's awesome, Aaron. Yeah, yes, absolutely. And definitely, I would say belt up for that. Valerie, did you do it already too? Yes. And I mean, it's like a little stutter step too, like I said, whatever you need to do to keep moving. And everyone's getting, the workout's going to make you tired. Whether you're brand new to CrossFit or an elite athlete, you see the elite athletes start to warm up and basically hobble over at some point. So I wouldn't really be too stressed about the extra stutter step or anything like that, because you just need to figure out how to stay moving. So on top of that, guys, what I want to see you do today with your warm-up is, if you have a band, some banded side steps and some monster walks to start, because if anything, M30 crew, you guys are going to have activated glutes before you start this. Promise me. It's the most important piece of this puzzle to not hurt your back and to be ready to not round your back or anything like that. And if it gets to that point, I would suggest that you take a second. So you guys, we've done walks before, but you're maintaining tension in this band, meaning I'm not bringing my legs back together. So I'm going to start with some monster walks. So you see my knees don't cave in. I'm keeping tension in my walk forward and backwards. So I'd find some 10-yard increments for that. And then you can do some steps like so, or you can keep the tension, shuffle side. I'm not bringing those knees all the way in. I'm maintaining tension. So I'm going to start with some monster walks and some banded side steps. And then I'm going to do some single leg box step-ups. You guys know I love these. So step up, press those hips back, tap to the ground. So you can do those on a high box like so. And then I would take my plate after a couple higher steps, and I would just do some people call these touchdowns. It's the same thing, but I'm going to press those hips back and I'm going to tap that heel, and I'm going to do 10 pulses of those quickly, and you will feel those glutes light up. But recognize, guys, you're still pressing those hips back. So it's like super duper activation. So we've got some step ups, some touchbacks, you've done some banded walks, and then obviously you're not racing through that, taking as much time as you need. Then we're going to do some single leg RDLs with a dumbbell. And I want you guys to use a dumbbell on this, even if you're doing the barbell version, because we're waking up those glutes and those erectors. And when you're using a dumbbell, it's making the other side work harder, and it's just a little bit extra. So then I'm going to do 10, a couple sets of 10. I'll do some with weight. Then I'll probably go through some body weight. I'm actually backwards today. Whatever leg goes back, that arm goes down. So you guys can pick and choose which of these movements you like to do the most, but those are my 3 to 4 favorite for glute activation. Then I'm going to take a lighter dumbbell. I only have 35 here right now. That's the only reason I'm doing it. But again, this wakes up your low back more than you think. I'm just going to do some single presses. As you'll notice when you're doing these with the light weight, you will feel the opposite side of your low back wake right up. That's why we love single dumbbell work. So I'm going to run through that anywhere from 3 to 5 times to be wide awake, booty awake, low back awake. Everything is going to be ready to rock and roll. My hinge is going to be bumped. Stephen, you would listen to Nickelback. Yes. Thomas, did you do this? Ooh, NSYNC for your playlist. I'm in on that. But you'll get points taken off. Nice, Valerie. She said, just kept moving steady. I'm proud. That's the idea, Valerie. That's what I'm advocating today. Whatever you need to do to stay nice and steady. That's my go-to. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Boy bands are okay. I love that. They're saying certain bands will get points taken off your score. Ha ha ha. Steph in my back will be saying bye, bye, bye. Well, crew, any other questions? Kim, I can't believe my parallettes were in frame the entire time. That cracks me up. Any questions on those burpees or those deadlifts, gang? Steph mentioned squeezing your butt cheeks. That's a good thing, too, to remember. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Oh, Thomas, doing deadlift workouts twice is a very bold strategy. Take care of yourself this weekend. Try to get that CNS reset. It's only 10 minutes, but then again, it's 10 minutes. That's how it goes. Oh, hi, little bear. She's like, you talking about deadlifts? What are you talking about? Oh. And crew, like I said today, you have body weight versions and minimal versions. If you don't have a barbell and you just want to do the M30 versions, they have air squats and burpees, or double dumbbell deadlifts and burpee over those dumbbells. Thomas, your back feels great. Powerhouse, you know? Ooh, inversion table. Stefan, that sounds glorious. That sounds very beneficial after all of this. Oh, well, what do you know? For accessory today too, guys. 3 sets, 10 half kneeling single arm dumbbell press, exactly what I was just telling you to do in your warm up, but very light. And then 10 bird dogs each side. All right, gang, any questions? Yes, Diana, let me know how it goes. Aaron, I'm on board with the one and done on this one for sure. I mean, if you're trying to improve your score, I completely understand, but this is definitely going to be really, really taxing on the low back for sure. But I can see from a strategy standpoint, it's going to be interesting to find where your sticking point is. And the luxury of knowing where your sticking point is usually you can navigate it faster the next time. So I see both sides. Just want you guys to be smart. And if anything's hurting, you know to listen to your body. Awesome, Thomas. I love to hear that. He said, got my hips low and had great glute activation. Proud. Aaron, I wish I could come to Canada and do it with you. I would be so down. I've always wanted to go to Canada. I would come home with a lot of syrup, I think. All right, crew. Well, any other final questions? I'm excited to hear how it goes for you guys. Keep me posted. We'll definitely talk about it more on Monday. No problem, Eilish. Let me know how it goes and what versions you guys do. I love that there's so many options. So excited to go cheer on Haley and the gang this morning. Then you have Rich and the rest of the crew at Rogue, I guess, today. I don't know how long they're there for, but they're going to crush it too for sure. Can't wait to hear how everyone does. Yes, Erica, keep us posted. Well, guys, first and foremost, have a lot of fun doing this. Make sure you encourage someone in your community while you're doing this. And do whatever you have to do to keep moving. I will, Kim. I'll tell the crew you say good luck and full send. Thanks, Dan. I hope you guys have the best day, and I will see you guys on Monday. Oh, yes, Eilish. Definitely wait till Monday if you're not feeling well. Recover first. Recover first. Yes, Willie. Willie, let me know how it goes. All right, crew. Have an awesome day, and I will see you guys bright and early on Monday.